One of the things that you learn being in the field is that you're connected, that you might be a sea apart or thousands of miles apart, but you know, my neighbor, my friend here, doesn't have clean water to drink, and his or her child is not doing well, and I could see something that I could do to try to alleviate some of that.
Here I am making a difference in a small organization in the most remote part of Western Kenya with my master's degree, which is irreplaceable. And it's something that can only be done by international travel, by getting your feet wet.
In public health, you want to prevent problems before they start. Figuring out how to bridge the gap between Western, Southeast Asian ideals, figuring out how to use your common ground to see a solution together, because that is really important with development work. And when you can see people are learning from you and then applying their knowledge, it could be very useful for the future.
I contacted the Loop Clinic, which is in northeastern Peru. They were working on a clean water system and a nutrition project in an indigenous community in the jungle. And so I went to help with those programs. One thing that you notice when you get to Nueva Vida is that the children suffer from all sorts of skin infections. So one thing that we did was to give basic hygiene classes at the schools and in the community. We taught the children how to wash their hands, which was a lot of fun.
I was living with 4 kids, and that's the best part, because they look up to you. They touch your hand to see if their hand would turn white. They have endless questions. So there was never a dull night, that's for sure. My host family, the mom told me that she would never in her life imagine a white person living with them in their house. I mean, she said that I changed her perspective on white people forever. I mean, who am I to do that? But that's what she said. She said you can't study public health unless you actually live with the people. And it's true, because they look at you differently. They have more respect for you. They have more respect for the work that you do if they know that you're living like them. I chose to go to Kenya because this program that I went with had some sort of connection to BU, a little local non-governmental organization, and their main focus is reproductive health. They train community health workers and they send them out to the rural villages. My job was to analyze their home-based care program. The best way to analyze the program is to actually shadow the community health workers. Sometimes what that meant was hiking mountains and really jumping over streams. It took us maybe an hour to get to some of these houses. For me to imagine how that hike at least once a week to get to this house is a dedication on behalf of the community health worker, and that was probably one of the most long-lasting impacts it made on me.
Boston University expects you to go into this new setting, learn a lot, apply your knowledge for your future. So they will provide you support, they will provide you all of the things that you will need to learn during this whole experience. However, it's up to you to make the most of it. The program is in the Philippines. It's a 7,000 island country in Southeast Asia. We specifically targeted STDs, HIV and AIDS to educate the community. We were educating one little portion of the population that could then educate the community. So by them standing up and taking part in the training, you could see that they were becoming involved, learning, and then integrating their education into the community for the future.
What was great about BU is just they were open to anything. There is work that needs to be done out in the world. Go out and do it. If you find a place where you can go and learn and be a part of something, we will support you 100%.
You have to enjoy what you're doing, and I truly get satisfaction from working with the people who are underserved or people who have nothing else but hope.
You really need to be open to new experiences like this. But in the long run, I mean, it's invaluable. It really is. For a student, it really is an invaluable experience. You'll never forget.